What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Back with another review video. Today we're looking at essentials for riding the bike. If you're going out riding the bike, doing 10, 15 miles, maybe you're going somewhere like running an errand, commuting on the bike, or just getting exercise. Maybe you're out in a state park riding around far from help, or at least want to have the confidence that if you get a flat tire, or maybe if something is loose, you can just simply pull over and fix it. It will save you a lot of time and energy. Today we're going to be looking at a couple of essential items. More essential than these items, like I said, is probably food and water, but I think just a step below is tools to fix your bike, such as a bicycle tube, which we've got here. We've got the Air Rush Elite, which is a CO2 inflator to inflate your tires. We've got an Elite multi-tool to fasten and tighten and fix things, and to hold everything together in a compact form factor that's light. Let's go ahead and start with our Bontrager Elite Seat Pack. So this, kind of cheap looking. It was $22.99. There's a nicer seat pack on Trek.com, but this one will do for now. It will hold a spare tube, a car key, some ID cards. Those, by the way, are tire levers to help you take the tire off, the CO2 canister, a multi-tool, and what looks to be a flat repair kit, which I do not have. I plan on just taking the spare tube, the tire levers, and the CO2 can, as well as the multi-tool. That should be good enough to replace a tire if I need it, or fix anything else, because I can hold the multi-tool too. This, by the way, is the Micro 260cc. This is the Elite Seat Pack by Bontrager. I am curious to find out if it can hold all of these items, because after all, it is the Micro Elite Seat Pack. It's 260cc. It's small. As you can see, it fits in the palm of my hand. It's actually smaller than my hand, but also, as you can see, just Velcros right underneath the saddle, so it's easy to attach. So, starting off with the Elite Seat Pack, let's move on to the multi-tool, the Bontrager multi-tool. You should be able to get all of this stuff in store. This was $29.99, slightly more expensive. One question I have is, can you tighten the rear derailleur with this multi-tool? It's ultra light, slim alloy design, CNC machine keys, and is a 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8 millimeter hex with a Phillips, a flathead, and a T25, and also a 2 millimeter hex. So, will this allow me to tighten the rear derailleur? And also, just keep in mind, this does not have a chain removal or chain attachment tool. I have come across issues with my chain coming off, losing a link, for example. That is kind of a worst nightmare scenario, because it's going to require a tool that you do not have on this multi-tool to reattach a chain if you needed to. And also, like I said, we do need to find out if this can tighten the rear derailleur, because I have had issues with my rear derailleur coming loose. That might have been some foul play. Not sure, but I should be able to fix most of the things on the bike with this multi-tool. But we will do an in-depth test and evaluation to see if we can tighten that rear derailleur with this multi-tool. So that was $29.99, and as you can see, it is a slim profile, so should go right into the saddlebag. Now, what else are we going to put in the saddlebag? We are going to put our bicycle tube, 728 to 32C. This is the Presta. This is what I use on my bike. Now, the FX2 disc can take a Presta valve, but you will need a bushing because the FX2 does not have Presta rims. The rims are designed to take a Schrader tube, so you will need a Presta bushing to fill out that space, that gap around the Presta valve, because the rim is designed to be used with a Schrader valve. A Presta is thinner, it's smaller in diameter than the Schrader, so you will need the bushing, but the bushing is inexpensive. You can get them at your local truck store. They might even just give you a couple for free. They did for me, but that's neither here nor there. Like I said, I will be sharing some insider knowledge here, but anyway, this is probably the most crucial thing, right? And probably the most common issue as a bike rider, having a flat tire. So being able to just carry this with me and replace it whenever I need to is extremely important. Now, one thing I do want to point out here is you can see that the box for the tube is actually roughly the same size as the seat pack itself, but all that is to say is it should fit in the seat pack as long as you take the tube out of the box. It should be wrapped up nicely, that it should just be able to go right into the seat pack. Next up is the AirRush Elite. It actually comes with a CO2 canister, but as you can see, you just screw this top piece down, this valve, this stem on top of the CO2 can, and then it should just pretty much inflate with the tire pressure. There are instructions on the back. You can see how it operates, and actually what I think it's showing here is the valve for the canister. So this piece, this red piece at the top, is designed to not only inflate but deflate as well. So just keep that in mind. Apparently these CO2 cans get cold, so what they do advertise is being able to hold it by the CO2 canister. That's what this rubber piece is for. So overall, should make the user experience an enjoyable one, even though flat tires are far from enjoyable, which I think is the purpose, right? So $25.99 is what this will cost. So for everything here, the AirRush CO2, that's $25. We've got our multi-tool for $30. We've got a spare tube for $10.50. And then we've got our seat pack for $25 again. And also, I picked up a spare CO2 cartridge. These are $3.99. And according to the sales guy at the truck store, the maintenance guy, one canister is one tire inflation. So I've got two of them, the one that comes with the AirRush Elite and a spare, so that I don't have to go running back to the truck store to get a replacement. So we've got that set up nice, and all of this, by the way, should fit inside the bag. Everything you see here should fit inside, plus or minus a couple of things that I don't have. So we will improvise I've got a car key here that we can add, a pair of earbuds, and last but not least, a couple of tire levers to help you remove the tire. I haven't found these to be necessary. I actually changed a couple of tire tubes already without these, so not sure why you would need something like this. Maybe if you've got like a high performance clincher tire and it's just seated on there really, tough to get off, you might need something heavy duty like this because it might just pinch your fingers. But with the FX2, I haven't really had that issue. The tire just kind of comes off and you kind of just take the tube out. But maybe if you've got like a high performance track bike or something, definitely will want these. So, but a good part of the demonstration. Okay, now that we've got the seat pack out of the packaging. By the way, if you're wondering why these zippers are so tough, it's because they've actually got a lining around them to make them waterproof. Inside, you can see what it looks like and the amount of space that we have. There's also an inner pocket to store things. So again, it is only 260 cc. It is the Micro Elite seat pack, but does give us some versatility. Now, the first thing that I want to do is make this as most organized as possible. So I think a good place to start is putting the tube inside. Now, if you remember from earlier, you can see that the box for the tube is actually bigger than the seat pack itself. So what we're gonna have to do is take the tube out and put the tube in the seat pack. And already you can see that it's taking up most of this space, but I think with a little bit of finagling, we can get close to everything in there. Let's go ahead, test it out now. It is like a nylon material, so should, expand or be expandable. Now, one of the second most important things, because like I just showed you, with the tube inside the seat pack, it's cramped as it is. So aside from being organized, what exactly is most important that we take? Now, I think the tube itself, of course, that's obvious, right? And I think the second most important thing to have is the CO2 cartridge, the Air Rush Elite, to inflate the tire. But actually what I'm finding here is maybe with the Air Rush Elite with the nozzle attached, it's just a little bit too long. But let's go ahead and see if we can't just stuff it in there. And yeah, as you can see, it maybe is just a little bit too long. So I think what we're gonna have to do is take the adapter off. And if you were wondering if you can carry more than one CO2 cartridge, the answer is so far no, because if I want to try to get more than the Air Rush, the cartridge, and the tube inside the seat pack, I will not be able to. So for now, it's going to be just one CO2 cartridge, which is good for one tire inflation. So far, we've got the tube in there. Now let's get inside the multi-tool and see if we can't get a couple of other things in there as well. Next up is the multi-tool. This one I'm actually most excited for because it's sort of like all the tools that I need to fix the bike in one, and it was only $30, and I can take it with me because it's compact. So let's go ahead and get it out of the box there, and because it's slim and compact, we should be able to get it into the seat pack, hopefully behind the tube here. So Let's go ahead and just sort of work it in there. Hopefully I don't puncture the tube. And as you can see, it slid right in. So that's pretty awesome. We can get it down there pretty good. As you can see, it's hidden now. We've got a tire lever to help us remove the tire. And like I said, let's go ahead and see if we can get this car key inside. And actually also, we've still got that pocket available back there. So let's go ahead and see if we can use it now. But ideally, I think I'd want to use that pocket for like an ID card. But let's go ahead and try the key. And as you can see, it's in there pretty nicely. So we've got pretty much everything they say you can get inside. The only thing we're missing is a patch kit. However, it does still zip up with ease, meaning we should be able to get a couple of more things in there. So let's go ahead and see if we can actually get our second lever. Actually, I forgot we have our multi-tool down there, so it's actually proving difficult to get in there. Okay, so we've got our second lever in there, and also a couple of little adapters that I wanted to put in there. We've got our bushing. This is because, like I said earlier, the rim on the FX2 is a Schrader. It's designed to use a Schrader tube, a tube with a Schrader valve, so you will need the bushing because the Presta valve is actually smaller in diameter, so it actually has room around it and will move. But if you have the bushing inside, it shouldn't move. So we'll go ahead and just throw the bushing down inside there, and then also the Presta valve adapter. So let's go ahead and throw that in there as well. And if I wanted to, could I put a pair of headphones in there, like a pair of earbuds, like the AirPods, for example? It's pretty tight. But actually, as a reference, maybe pretend this is something else, but we'll use it just to demonstrate. And as you can see, we are actually out of room. So we don't need those anyway, so I guess it's actually appropriate that it doesn't work. And voila, we've got pretty much everything we need to get our bike up and running. Let's go ahead and attach it to the bike. So now that you have a good understanding of this Bontrager Elite saddle pack, the Micro 260cc, just exactly what types of items you can get inside it to fix a flat, to go on some of those longer endurance trips. Now that we did the installation and I showed you the saddlebag and what you can fit inside, what I wanted to talk about actually was my first impressions riding after one day of having this installed. First and foremost, I can say I feel 100% more confident already as a rider taking this bike out, that I have the multi-tool, the spare tube, and the CO2 inflator. I can go anywhere and know that whatever problem I have on the bike, if something is loose or comes off and I can put it back on, a tube included, I can do that. But some things we didn't talk about in the pack and in the installation, I want to talk about in the first impression. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was buying this saddlebag on Trek.com. Looking at other saddlebags, what you'll notice is they usually advertise, is the bag quiet? Does it stay in place after you install it? Even though this one is kind of cheap at $22, I found that it stays in place well and is quiet, and that's because of the materials that it uses. Now, another first impression is this saddlebag is really geared more towards just as a emergency type pack to, like I said, fix your bike if you're out and not around a toolkit or in the comfort of your own home. This is not something you can simply walk up to, put things into it, take things out. If you, like me, are using it to hold a spare tube, a multi-tool, a CO2 can to blow the tire up, the tire levers, stuff like that, if you find yourself packing it with stuff like that, you will run out of room, and it is tightly packed. It is not something you can just walk up to and put things into it and take things out. Merely, it is there just as an emergency toolkit, flat pack, etc. If you want something that you can put onto the bike, put your phone inside, your car keys, your wallet, and then when you get to your destination, take those things out, go into a restaurant or a cafe, get a coffee, get breakfast, I would look at something else like maybe the Adventure Pro, for example. So anyway, guys, that has been a first impressions, a review, an installation guide. I gave you some tips and tricks. This saddlebag, not my favorite. I would have preferred a higher quality, more race-oriented one, maybe with a little bit of red in it, something a little more race-oriented, like I said, something that matches the bike better. It would be cool, I think, if Bontrager offered different colors, or at least offered this saddlebag with like streaks of red or orange or green or blue to match this year's lineup of bikes. Otherwise, it's just a black saddlebag that attaches under the seat, and it was $22, so kind of boring, but at the end of the day, does make me a more confidence-inspired rider, does give me more confidence and security going out riding the bike, knowing that if I do get a flat, I won't be stranded. So definitely take something like this into consideration when shopping for a bike. Aside from having water and food, definitely have something like this. My name is John. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below for more, and hit the bell icon to get notified when we post to YouTube. Thanks so much again for watching, and stay tuned for our next review.